I had disliked a lot of things that he was saying, and how he was acting, being that, I'm a real individual. I just felt like, we was all cool at one point in time. And
now remember this.
Sounds familiar.
No. I was older than Canelo is when I beat Canelo. So now, imagine seeing Canelo at 36 and me at 36 and we fight.
24 world champions, 5 divisions conquered, best defender of all time, right? Bud Crawford surpasses him in accolades because of the undisputed in 3 divisions. Both of them are fighters that fought great into their late 30s. However, Floyd has a deeper resume than Bud Crawford.
In a live interview, Terence Crawford confidently talked about Floyd Mayweather and his own legacy. He said Floyd's time in boxing is over and made it clear that this is his era now. Crawford explained that Mayweather's reign has ended and people should now focus on him as the current face of the sport. Speaking with certainty, he presented himself as the fighter leading boxing into the new generation.
Broadcast for Jake and Tyson, and some people like the likes of Carl Froch viewed that as an endorsement. Like, look, man, I'm just working. It's a big opportunity to be on Netflix. I didn't put the fight together. I'm not paying these guys. So, let's chill out. But all right, I'm not going to poo-poo this. I just don't know what CSI is. And the way it was presented made me think that there was like a secondary press release to come, that they'll be involved in like some sort of like virtual boxing thing. Like, it just didn't seem real. You know why it didn't seem real? I'll tell you why. There's no date attached to it. There's no venue attached to it. Forget rules, exhibition, not exhibition, weight. I mean, here's a guy who fought a heavyweight forget all that. These things can get figured out, the fine details. The fact that it was announced, why announce something with no date or location attached to it? What's the point? Unless you're just trying to get people excited and trying to get them, trying to get some investors or something like that.
But maybe also testing the waters. If the response was overwhelmingly positive, maybe you go, okay, we move forward. If the response is muted or negative, maybe you go, okay, we're not going to actually do this. You lob it out there as a way to poll the public, and then make an adjustment.
So you don't think it happens?
I do not think it happens. I just don't think there will be enough interest. I know they have huge name value. There's zero after the last performance by Mike Tyson against Jake Paul. I don't think there's going to be interest in seeing Mike Tyson do that again.
Floyd Mayweather reminded fans that he also outclassed Canelo Alvarez when he was already older, proving his skill and experience. He argued that Terence Crawford beating Canelo should not be seen as something huge, since both of their big wins came against the same opponent. For Floyd, this shows that his victory remains the more impressive one, and Crawford's win doesn't put him above Mayweather's legacy.
Canelo is a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. And everyone is now saying that he's not the same fighter. He's not looking the same. Now remember this.
Sounds familiar.
No. I was older than Canelo is when I beat Canelo. So now, imagine seeing Canelo at 36 and me at 36 and we fight. And now what y'all gonna say, well, now he got what? I don't know how many fights he got.
Some experts believe Terence Crawford cannot yet be compared to Floyd Mayweather because he doesn't have Floyd's perfect 50-0 record. They say that to truly pass Mayweather in greatness, Crawford must do more than just beat top fighters like Canelo Alvarez. Many suggest that he should move up in weight and face David Benavidez, a strong and dangerous opponent. Winning that fight would prove Crawford's courage and show he can defeat one of the toughest fighters today. Without such a test, some analysts insist Crawford will never reach Mayweather's legendary level, no matter how many big wins he earns.
You look at Floyd's record, right? Floyd's legacy is 50-0, 24 world champions, 5 divisions conquered, best defender of all time, right? Bud Crawford surpasses him in accolades because of the undisputed in 3 divisions. Both of them are fighters that fought great into their late 30s. However, Floyd has a deeper resume than Bud Crawford, but both of their best wins are Canelo Alvarez. Canelo was a younger, greener Canelo when Floyd beat him. Bud beat an older, slower, but more seasoned Canelo. Now, Bud's not going to surpass Floyd because of the record. He's not going to make 50 50-0. Bud has to separate himself. What he has to do is do something that Floyd didn't do. Take on the challenges that people are scared for you to take. Just that's what separates Leonard and Durant from the rest. If Bud Crawford beats David Benavidez, he will surpass Floyd Mayweather as far as on the all-time list. As of right now, if Bud Crawford retires, I would have him somewhere around the top 5, top 7.
Trainer Robert Garcia sees things differently. He believes Terence Crawford won't risk his legacy by fighting David Benavidez. According to Garcia, Crawford is a smart fighter who knows how to protect his career without taking unnecessary risks. Benavidez's size gives him a huge advantage and could end Crawford's unbeaten record. For Garcia, the danger isn't worth it because Crawford already has a great resume and doesn't need to fight someone outside his best weight. His opinion reflects the ongoing debate between taking risky fights for legacy or protecting an almost perfect career.
There's no way. Crawford just got the biggest win in his career and one of the biggest wins in history. He doesn't need to go out there and risk. But it is too big, too strong. We don't want to see a champion do so much and accomplish so much and then end his career with a bad choice, a bad fight that he shouldn't take. I wouldn't do it.
Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle, said that even though Terence Crawford easily beat Canelo Alvarez, the win shouldn't be seen as the ultimate standard. He pointed out that Canelo isn't the same fighter he once was, noting that his punches lack their old power and precision. Jeff said that before the fight, many criticized Crawford's competition level, and even after beating Canelo, some still downplay his win. Jeff believes the victory was strong but needs context. Canelo was not at his prime, so the result doesn't automatically make Crawford untouchable.
Canelo knocks him out in the first half of the fight because he couldn't handle the power, and obviously that proved not to be, or to be the case, that Crawford could definitely handle the power. Were you surprised that, it didn't look like, maybe once or twice it looked like maybe Crawford felt it, but never in any kind of real trouble?
Yeah, I don't think that Canelo really hit him. I mean, he hit him a couple times clean, but I mean, Crawford, Crawford's a big guy too. Crawford took it like it was nothing. I mean, and he hit Canelo a few times. I mean, and Canelo took it as well. So I mean, basically, at the end of the day, I mean, they both took decent shots from each other, but Crawford just didn't get hit as much as Canelo did.
Do you think that was a case of you can't Canelo's a guy that's not out there throwing huge combinations, like he's more of a punch at a time kind of guy, and that's not going to work against someone as slick and talented as Bud Crawford?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, basically, Canelo was looking for just one big shot, trying to land a big shot on Crawford, but Crawford wasn't having it. And Crawford at times would say, I guess he would say to himself, I need to, do a little more work. And basically, and it seemed like he just did that, and he would let his hands go.
Legendary boxer Roy Jones Jr. gave a sharp opinion on Floyd Mayweather's legacy. He said that apart from fighting Canelo Alvarez, Floyd didn't always face the best fighters when they were at their peak. Jones questioned why Mayweather is often called the greatest when many of his opponents were smaller, older, or past their best. He suggested Floyd's legend status is a bit overblown compared to what he actually achieved. For Roy Jones Jr., while Floyd's unbeaten record is historic, the timing and quality of his opponents leave room for debate, especially when compared to skilled and adaptable fighters like Terence Crawford.
Is Floyd Mayweather top 5 of all time?
Not in my book. No,
not even top 10?
Maybe top 10 in my book, yeah, but not top 5.
10.
He's maybe top 10, but not top 5. Floyd can fight, don't get it wrong. Floyd can fight. But here's what my problem is. Well, I understand, I know you're a Floyd fan, but here's my problem. Who did Floyd fight that was on his level when he fought him? Only Canelo. That's it. Don't give me that stuff about the other guy that was going to prison. He know he's going to prison when he get through. And then to take it even further.
He fought Cotto.
Cotto was not on his level. Wait. See, stop. Let me finish first. Cotto.
You asked me a question.
Cotto already was done. And Cotto an all-time great? No. Cotto's an all-time Puerto Rican great. Cotto's not an all-time great in boxing.
I agree with you.
He's an all-time Puerto Rican great.
I agree.
All right, so that's not a great fight. That's not on your level. Pacquiao. You waited till Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez before you fought him. If you'd have fought him 4 years ago, it'd have been something. Because both of y'all were here. We'd have found out who the best was. You waited till Marquez knocked him out, now you fought him. If I wait till somebody beat James Toney before I fight him, do I get credit for being the greatest fighter of all time because I beat James Toney?
No, you don't.
No, I don't. So my point is you didn't do it the right way. You know that. Who else did you fight besides them biggest, best 2 names you can pull up besides Canelo?
What I'm saying is that who do you think around that time would have even beaten Floyd that he didn't fight?
So my point is, I'm not gonna say who
because
would.
I can't name a person.
I'm not gonna say who would have beat Floyd. Like I said, I'm just saying Floyd never fought nobody that was of his equal. He didn't fight a James Toney. He didn't go looking for a James Toney.
Another analyst talked about the difference between popularity and pure boxing skill. He admitted that Floyd Mayweather's worldwide fame is unmatched, built through his long undefeated streak and massive pay-per-view numbers. But when it comes to talent alone, he suggested Terence Crawford might be better. Crawford's natural southpaw style and rare ability to switch stances mid-fight help him adjust to any opponent. These skills make many believe Crawford could be more technically gifted than Mayweather. The debate raises a bigger question. Should greatness be judged by fame and money, or by real skill and adaptability inside the ring?
Terence Crawford versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. Who wins this fight? I'm going with Terence Crawford, and I don't think that's unpopular or crazy to say. I think most people will agree with me. I understand Floyd Mayweather has a lot of fans out there, but the truth is, as great as Floyd Mayweather is, Terence Crawford is one of one. And I say that because who else has knockout power in both hands, is able to switch stances between orthodox and southpaw so seamlessly while having great footwork? It's not like Terence Crawford is some stationary target or a flat-footed fighter that's going to be chasing Floyd around. Terence Crawford knows how to cut the ring off. He has tremendous ring IQ. And not only is he a great boxer, but he's a great fighter. He'll be able to make it dirty. If he is on the inside with Floyd, that power will carry him far. And I just don't see how Floyd will be able to beat a Terence Crawford. I really don't see it. I understand Floyd's defense is incredible, but he is smaller than Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford would have a significant reach advantage on Floyd Mayweather. I believe Terence Crawford would also be taller than Floyd Mayweather, as well as all the skillful and technical aspects of what I just laid out prior. So I don't understand how anybody could pick Floyd Mayweather to beat Terence Crawford. Styles make fights, and I believe Terence has the style to beat one Floyd Mayweather. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Whether you agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. Join the discussion, subscribe for more, and leave a like if you enjoyed the time spent. Thank you. You are all appreciated.
Former world champion Shane Mosley made a simple comparison between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. He said Crawford's natural size gives him an advantage that Floyd never had. As a bigger fighter, Crawford can compete in more weight classes and keep his power and strength while moving up. Mosley noted that while Floyd was a master of defense and timing, Crawford's physical strength lets him dominate in ways Mayweather couldn't. For Mosley, comparing them directly is unfair because Crawford's size gives him chances Floyd never got.
Who do you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually he move in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather is really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Jeff Mayweather also reminded fans that when Floyd fought Canelo Alvarez, he was already past his prime. Even though he was older and slower, Floyd completely outclassed Canelo using his experience, defense, and ring IQ. Jeff said this shows a big difference between Floyd's and Crawford's wins over Canelo. While Crawford beat a more experienced version of Canelo, Floyd did it when he was no longer at his best, and that makes his win special. To Jeff, this proves Floyd's greatness remains unmatched, even as Crawford keeps adding big wins to his career.
Well, also if we remember, Canelo that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So
What was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23? 25?
Yeah, very, very young in the game, obviously.
Yeah, very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah,
to a man that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people, but he.
How you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose?
20s.
I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, so, and that's why Canelo was saying what he's saying.
But I mean, don't you? I mean,
want to make himself look like he did something great.
Terence Crawford has also spoken about being compared to Floyd Mayweather. He respects everything Floyd achieved and admits his legacy is permanent. However, Crawford says Mayweather belonged to his own time and that every era eventually changes. He explained that greatness doesn't last forever. New fighters will always rise and take the spotlight. By saying this, Crawford shows both respect for Floyd's success and confidence in his own role as today's leading figure in boxing.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you? Keyshawn beat Tank?
Keyshawn beat everybody. Him and Shakur.
How you feel about them not fighting each other? That's cool?
Yeah, that's cool. They don't need to fight each other.
Was there anybody ever...
They can beat up everybody else.
Was there anybody ever like that in boxing with you? Because not really Sean Porter, right?
No. Nope.
No friends in this business for you?
I think Tim Bradley would have been like that.
Okay.
I think me and Tim Bradley would have been like that. I wouldn't have fought Tim.
If the opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you would have, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great. But you
Floyd, yeah, because I wasn't as close. Me and Floyd close now, but when Floyd was boxing, I wasn't as close with Floyd like I am now.
How do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code.
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore. So that fight ain't gonna happen.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you? I think you got your answer there. Nah, I didn't hear nothing. Is Floyd better than you? Some fighters say, even like Gervonta Davis.
I beat your ass?
Okay, that's a no. That's a no.
Trainer Greg Hackett gave big praise to Terence Crawford after his win over Canelo Alvarez. He said the victory secured. Crawford's legacy is greater than Canelo's, but Hackett also clarified that this doesn't mean Crawford is better than Floyd Mayweather. He said that while the win over Canelo defines Crawford's career, it doesn't erase everything Floyd did over the years. In Hackett's eyes, Crawford deserves respect for his dominance. But comparisons to Floyd must be made carefully because Floyd's overall record and achievements are still unmatched.
Because you got to remember, Canelo is the guy right now in the sport that's supposed to be the man, big bad wolf. You beat him, you the wolf. Now it's like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, well, so I'm gonna fight. You beat the shark, you beat the wolf. Right. Damn, like, you know what I mean? Ain't no more ops out there. It's ops out there, but who gonna make them really want to get up? That's the
shit gotta make sense. Like you said, you be the shark and then you be the wolf.
Yeah.
But there's the monster.
Yeah, there is, but that's like a real monster.
Bro, that's to me it don't make sense. But that's
really
what
a monster.
Yo, is that proof? All right, we got the legendary Pape in the building. Legend. But what makes sense? Like, what makes the most sense? I know you said get a line of suits, Brooks Brothers.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Your line of suits, get your money, man. Go ahead and get the easy money, man. You ain't gotta sweat no more.
What's up,
Not saying you ain't gotta work, you ain't gotta sweat.
What's happening?
He's paved a career where he could sit down at a table and get this money. He could come out with a Terence Crawford series now, just doing whatever he like to do. People gonna watch it. Nobody, the fighting part, people don't understand what it's like to be a fighter. A lot of times fighters really don't be interested in certain fights. It's cause when a guy see himself up here and then is fighting a guy down here, it don't interest him. So therefore when he train, he not gonna really train. He gonna train, but he not gonna train. He not gonna listen. he gonna feel like his coach taking it too serious, and he's like, man, this ain't even that. But your coach like, listen, you can get fucked up. I'm telling you, you don't want to listen. Then you go in there and fight that guy. Then you get fucked up. I seen it happen.
Former champion Sean Porter spoke on his podcast about how big Crawford's win over Canelo really was. He said Crawford didn't just win, he completely dominated Canelo in a way no one expected. Porter explained that the fight proved Crawford. Skills work across different weight classes and against all types of opponents. He showed adaptability, technique, and mental strength at the highest level of the sport.
Broadcast for Jake and Tyson, and you know, some people like the likes of Carl Froch viewed that as an endorsement. Like, look, man, I'm just working. It's a big opportunity to be on Netflix. I didn't put the fight together. I'm not paying these guys. So, you know, let's chill out. But all right, I'm not going to poo-poo this. I just don't know what CSI is, and the way it was presented made me think that there was like a secondary press release to come, that they'll be involved in like some sort of like virtual boxing thing. Like, it just didn't seem real. You know why it didn't seem real? I'll tell you why. There's no date attached to it. There's no venue attached to it. Forget rules, exhibition, not exhibition, weight. I mean, here's a guy who fought a heavyweight fighting forget all that. These things can get figured out, the fine details. The fact that it was announced, why announce something with no date or location attached to it? What's the point? Unless you're just trying to get people excited and trying to get them, you know, trying to get some investors or something like that.
But maybe also testing the waters. If the response was overwhelmingly positive, maybe you go, okay, we move forward. If the response is muted or negative, maybe you go, okay, we're not going to actually do this. You know, you lob it out there as a way to poll the public, and then make an adjustment.
So you don't think it happens?
I do not think it happens. I just don't think there will be enough interest. I know they have huge name value. There's zero, after the last performance by Mike Tyson against Jake Paul, I don't think there's going to be interest in seeing Mike Tyson do that again.
One of Terence Crawford's greatest accomplishments is becoming the first boxer ever to be undisputed, a champion in 3 different weight divisions. This shows not just his skill, but also his ability to stay successful over time. Very few fighters in history have dominated so completely in multiple divisions. This record puts Crawford among the all-time greats and guarantees his place in boxing history, even without comparing him directly to Floyd Mayweather.
Terence Bud Crawford defeats Canelo Alvarez and becomes the first ever male 3-division undisputed champion in boxing history. Thank God the judges got this one right. But wow, what a technical battle this was. It was a very close fight, but as it went on, Terence was getting more and more comfortable in there. I remember in the 7th round, he even stood right in front of Canelo and fought him on the inside. Then in rounds 9 through 12, Crawford really started to open up on his flurries, gaining Canelo's respect. But the reason Crawford won this fight was because he was surprisingly durable at 168. He was able to do his thing because for the 36 minutes he was in there with Canelo, he was never really worried about what was coming back at him. I mean, Canelo just kept going to Terence's right side of his body, and that stung a couple times, but those were the really only hard shots Canelo landed. Unfortunately, this is terrible for Canelo's legacy because the smaller men beat him up, and Canelo's kind of been cherry-picking his opponents the last couple years. But well-deserved for Terence Crawford. It's going to look amazing on his legacy. Boxing got it right tonight. On the biggest stage, with the most eyeballs, no controversy, just pure sport. And one of the best ever at the sport got it done tonight, Terence Bud Crawford.